Listeners be advised. The Soliloquy podcast discuss matters related to the human experience and many that are sexual in nature. Due to this, some conversations may surround triggering topics such as sexual violence, self-harm, abuse, and much more. Please be advised, a list of crisis and psychological resources will be available in the show notes of this episode. With that said, let's get started with the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention please as we go through the following safety instructions.
In the event that there is a loss of cabin pressure, oxygen mask will drop from the overhead. Place the mask over your nose and mouth. Breathe normally as oxygen is flowing even if the mask is not inflated. Be sure to adjust your own mask before helping others.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Soliloquy podcast, where we step out and speak on sexuality. This is your favorite host, Vernon T. Scott, also known as Slaytor Jackson, and for you freaky motherfuckers out there, Sebastian Adams. On today's episode, we are discussing kinks, so go ahead, get your motherfucking whips out. Go ahead, look, choke a motherfucker consensually. Look, we're not playing those games.
I know that's right.
Ain't it? Ain't it? And with me, I am blessed to have Nicole. She's the sex
Hello.
coach, y'all. It's two sex coaches.
Yes.
Oh my God. It's two sex coaches on the damn
You know it's about
podcast.
to be, you know it's about to be high in education love in here today. You already know.
Twerk some ass, twerk some
And,
ass.
and
All right. So here we are. So, Nicole, this is your first time on the Soliloquy podcast.
it is.
Do you mind just letting everybody know who you are, what you do, what you're about, all the things that what makes you sexy, what makes you kinky? Let's go ahead and get all up into this damn conversation.
Okay, you
Who the,
really trying to get into some business today. Okay. No
listen,
problem.
who the fuck are you, Nicole? Who the fuck are you?
Well, I'm Nicole, like Vernon said. So I'm also a sex coach and educator. My brand name is Melanated Vixen. And so my goal, obviously, besides coaching people through every kind of sexual experience or question or concern that they might have, I'm also out here to educate, especially people in the Black and Brown community, to help us have better lives, better sex lives, better relationships overall, not only with our romantic partners or sexual partners, but friendships and of course ourselves, most importantly. So that is my mission. That's what I am here to do. And of course, if anybody's interested in meeting with me one-on-one or doing an event or anything like that, they can hit me up on IG. It's at melanated_vixen. That's Vixen with 2 X's. Or melanatedvixen.com, and I'll be more than happy to help you with whatever questions or meetings or whatever it is that you need.
Yes, and just in case you haven't grabbed that information yet, it will be in the show notes. So go ahead and do it, y'all. Y'all heard that melanated vixen? So that melanated means she's black.
That's right. I am a Black woman. What? I'm here to help us all in this Black and Brown community.
So I love how, you mentioned how you're here to make sure that you get us Black people right about understanding our sexuality, because that was the first thing that we're going to be talking about, and that sexual expression in the Black community. Oh my gosh, a passion project. So what makes you so interested in engaging within that realm of sexuality, focusing on the Black community and how we express ourselves sexually? Why does that fascinate you?
Not only thinking about my own personal experiences that I've had being Black, being West Indian as well, like coming from that background as well, like the limiting beliefs that's going on, the amount of, you have to do things a certain way or else it's deemed pick one of the many terms of the laundry list of negative connotations to things or judgments that come through. But being able to talk to a lot of people in my life and experience different people in my life and see how they have expressed themselves, figuring out what they're interested in, why they're interested in these things, and understanding that not that it's normal, but it's okay for you to explore that. We've got so much misinformation in this community. We've got so many judgments and things that are just really limiting ourselves from finding who we are sexually as a person. We mainly just listen to what we hear in music, what we see on TV, which I know we're going to tap into that later, um, but just all what we hear from our cousins and brothers and sisters, and uncles that got mad kids but no actual relationships, and
Ooh.
our moms and aunties that have similar things going on, and people who have been married for 50 years but they don't tell you what marriage is supposed to look like. They don't tell you what a true relationship is supposed to look like. So you're sitting here guessing, or you're sitting here listening to what other people are saying and thinking about, oh, I'm not going to do this because if I do this, then it's this. Or if I do this, they're going to call me this, or they're going to deem me this. Instead of understanding that there's way more that goes into sex and understanding yourself sexually than just what the community is saying, and then what society outside of that is saying, and how you truly feel about yourself, and not feeling comfortable with saying, hey, I like this. Think about that time that Tank was on an episode of some podcast, or maybe it was the Breakfast Club or something like that, and he was talking about how he likes to get his ass ate. And he was just like, listen, I
Mm.
know I'm probably going to get ridiculed for this, but I don't care. It's what I like. And of course, how many side conversations and other podcasts and memes and all kind of stuff did we hear after that from people saying, damn, this nigga like his ass ate, oh, this nigga gay, this, that, and the third. And you're just like, is he gay though? Or does he just like
To
to
get his
have
say.
something, that is, yeah, that is pleasing to him? Is it though? Charlamagne said the same thing. He was just like, hey, I like it because the shit feels amazing to me. And if some of y'all would get out your mind and stop
Hmm.
listening to what other dumb motherfuckers are saying
Hmm.
and try things for yourself, you can see that on your own. And it doesn't have to be that specific thing, obviously, but literally anything that you want to try, but you're stopping yourself because of what you think your homeboy is going to think, or your cousin, or whoever is going to find out, and you're going to get judged and ridiculed by it. It's a real thing, but at the same time, who cares? It's you.
Exactly. That's how I feel. Most definitely when it comes to like who I would decide to hook up with. Is like I don't care what other people really have to say about it because are we fucking?
Right.
Like,
Listen, what you eat don't make me shit. So what am I concerned about you for again? Oh.
exactly. Like, I know there's a large amount of Black men specifically who do feel ashamed to try something outside of the box because they're afraid that their sexual partners are going to deem them as being gay and spread that rumor and all this other stuff. But I feel like we need to get to a place as a community where we just stop focusing on what other people say about other people. Like,
Mhm.
if you're not going to go to that person directly and ask them questions about things that you heard, then just
Mhm.
shut up about it. Be like,
Right.
hey, Marcus is gay. Oh, Marcus didn't tell me he was gay. So, since you're over here telling me this, let me go ahead and connect with Marcus and see what's going on. Marcus, you gay, my,
Mhm.
my nigga? What's going on?
Right.
You good?
Not that Marcus even really has to tell you yes or no, but yeah.
Facts, facts. So it's like, why is that your business to share around? Like, if Marcus like to get his ass ate, let Marcus get his ass ate. And
Right.
if
And if
you're
Marcus
not
likes to get his ass ate, don't mean he's gay.
exactly, if you're not comfortable with doing that, that is okay. Nobody's forcing you to eat Marcus's ass, but that's none of your business to be sharing. It is
Yeah.
Marcus's business to engage with those individuals that Marcus find attractive and want to engage with sex with, and that's perfectly fine. Like, even if Marcus happens to be gay, be on a DL, which I'm really getting tired of this damn DL conversation that we be having most of the time because it's like we understand as a community how we see queer people. We tend to ostracize queer people. We tend to make queer people feel less than who they are, well, who we are, and then you expect people to openly admit certain things when they're just trying to stay engulfed in a community that clearly doesn't want them. Now, of course, we're at a place now that a lot of people are growing from that. There's a lot more openness and appreciation for people being different. But at the same time, if you're not providing a space for your possibly queer friend, family member to come to you and feel safe, then you're part of the problem. You're the reason why they're on the DL
Mm-hmm.
because they don't want to lose your friendship. They don't want to lose your love. So what else do they have to do but be silent about who they are because they don't want to lose the security that they found throughout all these years?
Right.
Like let's look at it in what it is in reality. That's it. It's not about somebody just playing games behind your back, somebody who just wants to cheat and all this other stuff. Many of the people who are DL, they just are afraid of losing that social safety net that they've built throughout these years. Because
Mhm.
if they come out, they say who they are, who are they going to be left with? They're going to be lonely. They're going to be depressed. They like
Mhm.
how many people are going to stand up and support them and be
Right.
happy and just embrace who they are.
Right. Especially if they've heard, one or more friends or family members in their circle say things negatively about anybody who is gay, who is bisexual or anything.
Hmm.
If you hear somebody saying something negative, you're like, okay, well, noted. I'll never either bring this discussion up, or especially if I'm trying to have like a good conversation without a bunch of judgments and misinformation and all that, or you know what? Now that I know how they feel about gay people, ain't no way I'm confiding in this person
Hmm.
that this is how I've been feeling, or I think I might be, or help me find some resources to help me figure some stuff out, or whatever it is. They just won't feel comfortable. Like this is not going to be a safe space for them at all, a safe
Hmm.
person to talk to at all. You're not going to be supportive of that if that's how you talking. So it
Hmm.
diminishes a lot of relationships, unfortunately. So just like you had in your example before about, oh, I didn't know Marcus was gay. How come he didn't tell me anything? Well, if he was hearing you bash people before, you're not really the first person he's going to feel comfortable telling, if at all.
Exactly. So it's like you really do have to think about it. You have to think about what image am I presenting for the people that I might may care about.
Yeah.
Because you can't really truly love somebody if you can't accept them for who they are. That's like those people who say love the sinner, not the sin. Fam, that thing that you're calling me a fucking sinner. So we have a motherfucking problem already. So what the fuck is up?
Well,
I'm not even
see, after something like that, I'd be like, what was that other verse that they always say? He who lives in a glass house should not throw stones.
The Holiloquy podcast focuses on the variability of sexual expression. When it comes to sexual expression, we often depend on pornography to illustrate how one must perform sexually. For those who have not learned this by now, the stuff you see in porn is not real. Pornography provides a singular perspective of sexual expression that is not often the reality we see during our own sexual encounters. The Holiloquy podcast is a conversation that takes you outside of the compressed box of what many know about sex. Some of the topics we discuss includes kinks, condom usage, status disclosure, and past sexual experiences. The Holiloquy podcast steps out on sexual norms and recognizes that the norm is not the only normal. Subscribe today and join the conversation.
Well,
I'm not even
see, after something like that, I'd be like, what was that other verse that they always say? He who lives in a glass house should not throw stones.
mm,
So
mm.
how are we measuring the sin and thing? Oh, okay. That's another conversation that people don't want to have neither, but yeah.
Look, we could go down it because look, that's religion plays a large role in in what impacts how we express ourselves sexually in
Yeah.
our community. Because it's
Very
like how I how do I put it? It's like whenever I'm approached with anything that's related to religion, I'm just like I feel so disconnected because of how much hatred has been shared
much.
about my sexual expression in God. And I'm just like, but everyone tells me God doesn't make mistakes or that God is within all of us. And now you're telling me I need to help hate myself, which is also saying I need to hate God, which is also saying like,
Mhm.
what's going
Mhm.
on here? You're giving me
Right.
mixed
Right.
messages. And then
Very
it's
much.
the God is love, but you're telling me to hate this person.
Yeah.
Do you not see how that can just riddle your head and just make you
Mhm.
confused on an ongoing basis? Like, how can I hate somebody and love at the same time? I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know.
Right.
Granted, I am a person that believe hate is developed through two emotions in two separate ways. So you have hate and anger. I mean, you have love and anger, and then you also have anger and fear. So
Hmm.
you with the hate with that engulfs love and anger. That's those people that you love this person so much they did something so bad and you just rage and just like I hate you because of that. But you
Hmm.
know that that hatred is rooted in love. And
Hmm.
then the one with fear and anger, that's where you get all your races from. That's
Right.
that's
The
their
lack of the no understanding. So of course you're gonna be fearful of it because you don't understand.
exact.
Nor do you in a lot of those cases, nor are they trying to understand at all. They just rather live in their anger and fear and
Hmm.
ignorance. I can't even say ignorance, ignorant bliss, but definitely that ignorance.
Hmm. And I think that's where a lot of people who are what you'll consider a homophobe, they're within that scenario too.
Hmm.
Um, But yeah, don't be out here just calling people sinners if you don't want to approach them as a human being, because that's another way of stripping them of their humanity. You're saying
Hmm.
that you see them as I guess a vessel, but you don't see them as a being. You don't see them as somebody who's living and walking through this earth. You just see
Hmm.
them as, oh, that's an object over there. Um, you're in my way, you're not in my way. I can,
Hmm.
see you a little bit, but I don't truly see you because I don't want to show any appreciation to a subsect or a part of you that I'm too uncomfortable to engage in.
Right. For no reason really, but again.
Hmm. And I think like a lot of that hatred that spreads, that anger that we have towards the queer community, the misinformation that we are provided about how we can and should and will express ourselves sexually, it just strict us. It makes it provides a lack of sexual freedom.
Mhm.
What do you feel about just that concept of sexual freedom in itself and the lack thereof within the Black community?
Well, I mean, I think it goes into what I was saying earlier, just that fear of judgment, that fear of trying to figure out who you are sexually, what you like sexually, without this judgment and without this, the labeling and, it does not create a good environment for even trying to understand anything. So
Hmm.
people stay in this box of this is what sex should look like. This is how Black people have sex. This is how Black people fuck. This is what Black love should look like. And that's it. And anything outside of that, we can fuck with it a little bit, or okay, I see you, but you one of these outsider, these weirdo type people, blah blah. And even that is still a label. Why does that have to be weirdo? Why does that have to be weird? Why does that because someone is choosing to express themselves in this way, and it's not a way that that you are comfortable with, that you understand, whatever, doesn't make it weird. And I think that's, overall as a society, we should really stop doing. Also, I mean, we always try to put a lot of labels on things, and just so we can have a better understanding, but then we become so general with these labels as well. Like I understand trying to compartmentalize things, but you still putting shit in a big ass container when there's
Hmm.
more smaller containers for things to go in, so you can better understand what someone is doing, or what this is for, or whatever. But the lack of sexual freedom just comes from all of those same things. The information that we're given. A lot of people will that see something that they don't understand, or anytime they see it, they only see white people doing it, so it's deemed white people shit, instead of,
Hmm.
oh, that's different. I've never seen anybody do that before, and really trying to be in that moment and understand what they are seeing and seeing how they feel about it. I mean, of course, there's always something to be said about, watching white people or interracial sex and porn and things like that. And, that takes a minute, either it turns you off or turns you on or whatever.
Hmm.
But seeing two people do something, you're just like, yeah, that's white people shit. White people shit. We ain't doing that. When it's not about what the white people, what the white people are doing, and because it's white or because you don't like it, that's what it is. It could just be not your thing.
Mm.
But again, we take that label, that term, oh, that's white people shit, and we make it again like a negative connotation instead of it being, I mean, again, that's a whole nother rabbit hole that we can go down about what white people shit really is. But in these kinds of ways, like, think about like way back in the days when you never used to see a lot of black people, like, I don't know, skateboarding. And I could be wrong. All my skaters, please don't hate on me. I don't know too much about the community, but I'm just saying, I'm thinking about a time when I never used to see a lot of black people skateboarding,
Hmm.
or doing certain things. Hell, even well, no, that's not true. Arthur Ashe. Anyway, but people doing certain things, people doing certain things, and then that was deemed like, oh, that's those skater kids, and the white people shit, blah blah, and that's what it was deemed for a long time until you started seeing more black people doing it, and then they're like, oh shit, we taking over. Oh shit, we doing this. Da 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 da.
Hmm.
But for a while it was white people shit. Why? And it was only because you didn't see us doing it because we didn't have the access to whatever it was. We
Hmm.
didn't have the freedom to do it. Nobody was really trying it. And then finally, when we did, you see, oh shit, this is for us. Oh shit, look how dope we are doing that. So why can't that be the same kind of mentality when it comes to sex and the things that we don't normally see in porn or in videos or in movies or from what your cousin and your homeboys and them is saying that it should be?
And like I think about just how, just the concept of foreign things, and
Mhm.
the way that our media works in this country, it is always white centered and white first and white, 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 white. And when you engage in porn and engage in how people are having sex outside of what we consider the norm, and that's very foreign. So it's like, oh, they have that privilege to be able to be foreign in their expression. So rather than saying or having ownership of, I can do some shit like that. I find this a little bit more kinky. I find this something like I might want to try. We'll just rather label it. We'll rather just be like, I don't
Right,
know about that, because I know if I were to do that, I'm
mhm,
automatically going to get judged. I know that if
right.
I did that, I might be excommunicated from the community.
Church, the
So,
community
of
as
the
a whole,
church, yes.
the
So
community as a whole.
why not build this barrier of entry and just say, oh no, we're just going to isolate that only for white people? Because
Mhm.
either we've seen someone in like a friend in high school or something like that who was skateboarding, and you're just like, you cornball and all this other stuff. We
Yeah.
driving on this man and
Mhm.
whatnot. And then, who's the persons that's going to scoop him up and support his behavior, because they do it too,
Right.
the white kids. So now it's just
Right.
like, oh well, you're just all about white people, blah 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 blah. But this little kid is just a little kid. Maybe they just like, I'm
Right.
for the people. Y'all
Right.
motherfuckers just don't fuck with me.
Right. Now you got me out here hanging out with Jake and them.
Right.
Like.
Look,
So
Tyrone, Daquan, what's up? Y'all over here out there all kind of stuck up and shit. Get on this damn board too, motherfuckers.
right,
But
exactly. Get on this shit, is fun.
I think that's how we approach sexuality too. It's just like,
Yeah. Mhm.
you might see a black body in the porn, and you're just like, oh, that's probably just one of that little race play things or whatever it is. It's porn. I'm just here to jack
Mhm.
off to it. People
Mhm.
don't really do shit like that. That's
Mhm.
unnatural. Like, they just doing that for the money. Or maybe they're doing that because it's actually pleasing. Maybe they're doing it because it's an experience that some people like to enjoy. And it's okay if
Right.
you want to explore that.
Yeah, I mean, and I thought about you know who Cy Really Kid is, right? Disgusting, submissive, them songs. Okay,
Mm-mm.
well, I'm gonna have to put you on after this.
Educate,
But
educate. Yes, sis.
but
Yes,
maybe
black
but
woman.
Well, okay, so he's an artist, he's a hip hop artist, or he's a rapper that, he sings about women being submissive, or just, having a submissive lover, or being disgusting, being into different kinks, different areas of like BDSM play. And like when you watch his videos, don't worry, I'm gonna send you the YouTube link so you can see these two videos I'm talking about. But in one of them, like part of his song, he's talking about I might choke you out, slap you around, spit in your mouth, whatever. These things, how many years ago, not too long ago, you weren't seeing anybody or many people in the community talk about that
Mhm.
openly, at least. To where we have a song and we have a video showcasing this, and this person saying like, oh yeah, I like doing all of this shit. And now think about how many people are, how many women and how many men are talking about either choking or being choked during sex, or slap, or this face slapping, or or other body part slapping, about spitting in mouths, about all these different things that nobody was talking about, or nobody was even trying to do, or the community saying was okay 10 years ago, let's say.
Mhm.
And now all of a sudden we got this shit out here and everybody's like, oh yeah, I like that shit. Look at who was it? Young Miami.
Mhm.
Just the other day was talking about, I don't know what it is, but I actually like a golden shower, when she was interviewing with Trina. And everybody was
That's
wilding
true.
out, losing their mind. That was like, whoa, hold on. You like what? You
Look.
like what? So on one hand, it's kind of like, how many of y'all are about to go out here trying this shit because you heard these songs,
Mhm.
disgusting songs by one person, and of course other people are going to jump on it too, because that's how it goes.
Mhm.
And now that you've seen one of the city girls talking about, oh, I actually like golden showers, like how many of y'all are about to be either, well, one, you'll have a small population of people who are going to come out and be like, actually, I've been doing that for years and I do like it, which
Mhm.
is great, because now people can feel more comfortable talking about it, because it's no longer a taboo thing. It's no longer that harshly judged as it used to be. And now you've got a celebrity out here saying, hey, I actually like that shit. It's something about it. It's this, it's that, But before, nobody was talking about that. And of course, now you're going to have more people willing to try it,
Mhm.
just like people being willing to try, like, being choked out and stuff like that. Or, understanding how to do it properly is a whole nother educational part of things, because the people out here crushing windpipes and shit, like, that's not how that works. You
Not
are
at
supposed
all.
to squeeze, you are not supposed to press. Just a little tip for y'all. But yeah, so there's a lot of judgment, because of the lack of information, because of the lack of exposure, because of the, oh man, someone's going to deem me as this, forget the word deviant. Most people don't even say that or use that.
Mhm.
But forget that part. It's just, I don't want anybody in my community to look at me different. I
Mhm.
don't want I don't want my peers or anybody to look at me different or call me this or say that I'm this, even though I truly enjoy these things,
Mhm.
So that lack of sexual freedom, I mean, it's really deeply rooted in that. And of course, again, what society tells us how we should be performing, what sex is supposed to look like. And not even just sex overall, but sex for Black people, what that's supposed to look like. Think about the images that we do see in porn, and how aggressive, like, Black people don't have sex, they fuck,
Mhm.
and we do. But that's not to say that there's not lovemaking, that there isn't some sensuality in there, that there isn't an in between in there, that it couldn't be both. That
Mhm.
doesn't mean that if you're in a committed relationship, you married or whatever, that you couldn't still do both.
Mhm.
It's just always that aggression, and it needs to be, you know, doggy style, ass slapping, hair pulling, this, that, and the third. Nothing wrong with it, because it's great shit.
It's lit. It's lit. It's
it's
lit.
it's great. I love that, but that doesn't mean that I don't want, or that my partner couldn't want something a little softer, something a little less aggressive, something more intense, and more of a connection, you know.
Exactly.
Even if it is someone that's a friends with benefit situation or one nighter situation, it doesn't have to be aggressive sex like that.
Mhm.
But again, if that's something that we are constantly taught and shown, we're thinking that that's what it's supposed to look like. you know,
Exactly.
which is also incorrect.
And we definitely do need to go deeper into that conversation about aggressive sex. But I wanted to go back to something. First off, Trina, I love that woman. She is like, she's been talking about the sex before anybody got comfortable with talking about the
That's,
sex. Her,
that's right. That's
Lil
right.
Kim, as well as Missy. Well,
Foxy
Trina
Brown.
was just like, I'm going to say pussy. I'm going to say, eat my ass, lick my pussy, and suck my motherfucking feet. She's going to say it.
Right.
She's going to say, I love to suck the dick. But like,
Hmm.
I love her. But something that really stood out was when you were saying, oh, it takes someone popular to make something a little bit more normal. Now, when it comes to choking people and, pits play and all those stuff, y'all just remember this one thing. Do this stuff with someone that you trust and educate yourself on the things that you're about to engage in before you do it. Because no,
That
we're not
part.
trying to kill somebody, trying to have sex. No, none of
That
that.
part.
None of
Please.
that. But like, it really does take people who are in these positions to say, I do this and it's okay. And
Mhm.
some people really do get judged for it. But at the same time, it's a light for somebody that's like, oh, I'm not the only one who's okay with this. I'm not the only one who wanted to explore that realm. And I have someone that I looked up to, or someone I didn't look up to, but they have a platform to say this
Mhm.
and makes me feel a lot more comfortable and seen.
Right.
So it is great for us to have these kind of conversations and say that I do this. And if you judge me, that's on you. I'm not going to stop the way that I like to fuck. I'm not going to stop the way I like to have sex. I'm not going to stop engaging with these people who I want to engage in because look, regardless of what the money is looking like, they're having a good time. They're
Yep.
enjoying themselves. They are finding people who want to engage in these certain things that they want to do in a consensual manner. And you can find that too. It might
Mhm.
take a lot of bad eggs and whatnot. Crack those motherfuckers and throw them away. Find a good one. Find something that you want to like develop in the egg that will grow into a nice little bird, a nice little lizard, a nice little whatever the fuck is hatching out of that damn egg. So it's possible, but like
Yeah.
we get so fixated on the community judgment that we just go through our lives just not feeling the love that we want. Because I've actually
Mhm.
chatted with somebody. This was on Grinder. I think this person was like 68 or something, in a marriage, yeah, with a woman, and like on here on this app, and I'm like, what is it like, why is it that you and your wife choose to be miserable at
Yeah.
this old age?
Right.
And I'm like, I feel as though that you both love each other, but you're both not into each other,
Hmm.
and that's a problem when you think about it. Because one, why are
Yeah.
you on this damn app? Like,
Yeah.
not to say he shouldn't be out here trying to find love and find pleasure and things like that. Because do you, boo? I'm here for it. But you're both unhappy, and you are okay with that.
Right.
Why?
For what? Yeah. For the sake of what? Staying together? I mean, again, another fear-based, set of thinking because I mean, I understand you've been with somebody for a long period of time and you get to a certain place in your life where you're like, do I really want to start over?
Mhm.
Who's gonna, and so many other thoughts that go into that, depending on that person and how they feel about themselves and all of that. But it really comes down to I'm not about to start over with somebody else. This person knows my ins and outs, my quirks, my allergies, how much, how
All
long
of them.
I can do, how long I can do X, Y, and Z. I'm not about to try to find somebody else and figure out how they work. There's that, and of course that, that way of thinking that when you marry somebody or when you're with somebody, like you just with them forever. So this is just a rocky patch till death do us part, or oh well, that just happens as you get older, or men on me bend, or they can't settle down, or so many other excuses,
Mm.
old outdated ways of thinking and things like that. Y'all been together this amount of time, but y'all can't talk about how y'all feel. And I mean, you probably never did, to be honest, but again, yet another conversation. But
Mm.
they're not going to do it. They're just going to sit here and stay in that position and race the clock of let's see either who taps out first or who dies first, you know?
Exactly.
And even if one of y'all die first, that I mean, just because you unhappy doesn't mean that your partner's not unhappy too. You
Mm,
know? Yeah, I mean, it's natural to grow apart, especially if you've been together for since a certain period in your life when there was like a lot of change coming about. You were figuring out who you were and what you liked, didn't like, what you wanted, and all these other things. Watching other people, seeing other people. That's like when you're in your 20s and people are getting married at like 23 and shit like that. And you're just like, you really, I mean, you might have lived and gone to college and, you know, whatever hard knock life you might have lived, but there's still so much that you're still learning about yourself. So to commit yourself
mm,
to another person in that way, I wouldn't say is wrong, but at the same time, like you barely even understand what the term finding yourself means.
mm-hmm,
And barely figuring out who you are because we're so like we're so consumed by society, what society's saying, telling us what we should be doing, thinking, our parents, what they're telling us we should be doing and thinking and not doing and all of this other kind of stuff, and that you don't get to a place, well, or at least most people don't get to a place where they're thinking for themselves and for what they really truly want and living for themselves.
mm-hmm.
You know, they're trying to please people or rebel against something or trying to figure some shit out. And well, I mean, the next step, I guess, is being married. We've been together 5 years, I guess. I love them. Yeah, okay. But that doesn't mean that you're gonna be together with them. It doesn't mean you gotta marry them, like, and have
Exactly.
some kids. And then by the time y'all 37, you're just like, I love them, but oh shit, I hate them.
Like I think one of the things that many people need to recognize and just reflect on is have you become a brand?
Mhm.
And with that, I mean, like we try to brand everything. We try to make everything into a monolith in this country in our society because that's what sells.
Yeah.
So we make blackness into a brand. Look, it's Black History Month, and we all know what's about to happen during this month. We're going to have the oh, black this, black that, black that, this is made by black creators, and we're only going to sell it during the month of
February.
February and no other kind of month outside of that, because
Right.
that's the only time we're going to make sure that your products are in our stores. But
Because
you
this is
know,
your time, Black people.
this is your time, so it becomes a brand. Oh, make sure you get this by this black person that like
Hey,
we've
we're
become.
collaborating with such and such a company to
Exactly.
sell such and such a thing, blah blah blah. And they gotta, you know, like, or you get some tone deaf shit like what Bath and Body Works did last year, a few years ago, whenever the hell it was, when they decided to bring out some kente cloth looking labels on
Mhm.
products. Oh, this one's got shea butter and this one's got this. Yeah, first of all, keep all that bullshit on your shelf, please. When I saw it and someone's like, "Oh, I'm gonna snatch that up," I said, "Are you fucking dumb? What are you doing? Are you
Exactly.
dumb?" I mean, of course, everybody can do whatever they want, but I'm like, this is the first time I've ever heard them doing this. Number one. Two, you're only promoting things like shea butter because y'all now know that Black people absolutely love shea butter and not cocoa butter as much as we used to because we, you know, figure out what works.
Hmm.
Although some of your products have already you already look at labels that say shea butter in it, but you're not promoting it the way that you used to. And three, y'all didn't have to put these designs on there at all. I don't care if you did team up with the NAACP because we all know Rachel Dolezal worked for the NAACP
Ooh,
for a long time.
ooh,
Okay, so
Not
yeah,
Rachel, Lord.
you heard me. You heard what
Child,
I
Rachel literally changed her race to do something that she could have done as a white woman. The gag, bitch.
As if there are not white faces on the board of the NAACP. You could still do that.
You can still, it
You could
was,
have still been you could have still been the white woman that your mama and daddy raised you to be
and been
and still
fine.
supported the community. You could have still did that,
It
girl.
would have been great. It still had your little black kids and everything, been in love and supported. Like, you wouldn't be a joke.
Exactly.
You would not be a joke right
Yeah,
now, girl.
you would not be a joke. We would look at you like, okay, hey, maybe she is someone who truly wants to be an ally and support. We'll see, whatever. Okay, you adopted black kids, so did Madonna, so did Angelina and countless other people. Good for y'all. Great. But you didn't have to do all of this, girl, because
No,
you are going to be the butt of every sketch comedy joke.
amen. Amen.
But
Let me
yeah, you
take
didn't
my
have to do
transracial ass somewhere.
that. Right. Or that, oh my God. I saw one the other day. I was like, this gotta be a joke because ain't no way. This black man who's what, 35 or whatever, and said that he's transracial, he's white, and his name is, I don't know, I can't remember
Let it be
his
Carter.
name. It was no, it wasn't Carter. And I got his
Damn.
name Carter. Don't do that. But it was like Caleb or some, I don't know, some shit.
That's a
And
good
he was
one.
like a white man from Colorado. Apparently never been to Colorado because his mom was like, oh, he works doing such and such a thing. I forget.
I never
And
been.
listen, got his mama on to do the interview. No, he's not. He's 35 and he live here. He don't even do nothing. He go to school. That's it. I said, oh, now mom calling you out like this.
I'm so done.
Not her calling you out like this. But when I saw that, I said, I am completely done. But he was like, oh yeah, my name's Caleb, blah blah. I said, what in the Clayton Bigsby is going on here? I
Child.
can't, I
Not
couldn't,
Clayton.
I did. I was watching Chicago the other day. I was watching it.
I just know after that interview, his mom's like, take your black ass. How the fuck you got me on this goddamn TV embarrassing my ass because your black ass decided to say that you transracial and white. Your name is not Caleb. I did not name you this. Oh my
Get
God,
your ass
today
in here and
got
clean
me
that room.
cussing.
I'm sick of
Oh,
you.
child, I'm a sane woman. You got my black ass cussing at your motherfucker. Oh my, oh, child, let me call the
Got these white
pastor.
people coming up in my house,
Mm, 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 mm.
running my pressure up, talking about you transracial. You a white man named Caleb from Denver, Colorado. No, your ass ain't even been outside of here. Oh, that's the worst. That's the worst to me. You had big dreams, and
Oh
maybe one day
God.
you will make it to Denver, Colorado, sir. But
Maybe.
sir, not this. Don't do this. Don't do this. And you wasn't
Look,
even living. You weren't even living by yourself. You was living at home,
see,
going to school, no job, doing nothing. You got the whole house ready telling your ass. Why would
he
you do that?
he played his cards wrong. What he was supposed to
Very.
do, he was supposed to reach out to Rachel Dolezal, and we're a transracial couple, but we're interracial, and
And
everybody have to
yeah,
look at this like, wait, they right though, they right.
right. I mean, y'all interracial, but y'all got this shit backwards because she thinks she a black
Transinterracial
woman. You think you a white man. Both of y'all, this is not adding up. She got box braids
Oh God.
and faux locks and shit. And what made it even crazier, my guy had dreads.
I love it. I love it.
Not even a fade, wasn't even bald, locks. I said, oh,
I'm dead. Oh my
okay,
God. Yeah, the
okay.
episode title is definitely going to be Transinterracial Love. Oh my God. That was something I wanted to go back to within what we were just talking about, but I forgot. I do remember that I do remember I did want to go back before we close everything out and go into this these sex questions because y'all getting
Oh,
sex questions because the sex coach is on the line. Fucking never have I
period.
ever. Y'all should have known.
Right.
But we were talking about aggressive sex, and one of the things that we were talking about in the intake meeting was about how we do need to like work on switching our mindset to appreciate sensual sex a lot more than aggressive sex, because like you said earlier, we're it's more than just fucking. Some people want to be caressed, some people want to be held, some people need motherfucking aftercare.
Talk about it.
Look, cuddle me, motherfucker. Like, let me
Say that.
look. I could you look if let's say if this is like a hardcore session, we are fucking, and I'm like, look, you can cuddle me and call me a nasty bitch and call me a slut and all these other things, and I'd be happy as long as our body is connected in this way. I'm okay. Like,
Mhm.
you can just be like, oh, you disgusting whore. Like sometimes whenever I have good sex, I really do want to be called like a slut and
Listen,
like I want to be
yes,
called horrible
yes,
things.
it really depends on the moment. It really does. You're like, yes, I'm gonna tell you what to call me. Just make sure you put some bass in your voice when you do it.
Look, that's it. But like other than that, I just be like, because I'm not big on being degraded, but
Mhm.
after good sex, I'm okay with it. Like mm. When
You
I
know,
say
I have
slut
a
me out, I mean by the end of this sex, I'm okay with being called a slut.
right. Be like, yeah, I really did some nasty shit just now. It was
Look,
great though.
I need to
It was
repent.
great though. I need to repent. You know what? I have a friend that created the term is it's I should have worn his shirt, but it's slut me out, love me after.
Ooh,
And I
yes.
was like, that's the truth right there. Because exactly what you described is exactly, what that phrase entails. Like, slut me out, but hey, don't just leave. I need
Exactly.
my aftercare. I need you to still love me after we are done with this. You need to have him on the show. I'll give you his info.
Oh, please do.
Um, but yeah, come on. Come on.
Look, also send me that shirt, because I want to get me one, and I could definitely post that in the show notes too.
I got you. I got you.
So I
You
need
know
to get
what?
one.
We can we'll figure out what one of these next episodes is, and if it relates, I will be happy to have that emblazoned across my chest. But yes, I'm gonna give you his info because he got the shirts and the hoodies and all of that. Those of y'all who are on TikTok, y'all might know him, Stephen Smith, sexologist and pleasure coach, Stephen Smith. That's
Why
his
that does sound familiar.
yeah.
But
So
also,
he does that.
who gonna see your shirt? I know I'm gonna see
I mean, that's true. You're right.
it.
We already had this conversation, brother. That that you need to do this. Get your Patreon, put some little clips on YouTube, make this some special shit for your listeners. Because
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
telling you, the faces that you and I be making, and I can imagine your other guests, and
Child.
some of the little looks, like you already know, like when you get at okay, we
Exactly.
it adds to the moment. I'm telling you.
Well, I'm going to get I'm going to have to step my game up, y'all. Look, she's been telling me I need to go ahead and switch over to video. And if you agree that I need to switch over to video, go ahead and give me 5 stars when you rate
Watch
this
them numbers go
podcast.
up. You welcome. Listen, let me know.
I'm gonna
I'll be
get my
on
damn
there.
5 stars. If you hate me, bitch, you better hate listen to this damn podcast and hate watch and still give me some fucking thumbs ups and
I
fucking
know that's
five
right.
stars, bitch.
Because why are you still listening? Because you know the content is good. Don't play.
Exactly.
Don't
Look,
play.
don't be playing these damn games. You gonna be here next episode to continue. So go ahead.
Right. Because
Give me
I'm
my
gonna be
five.
here on one of these next episodes. Promise
Look,
you that.
slap me 5 and we can smoke. But back to what we were saying. But yeah, sex should engage in the sensual and everything. Most definitely in the porn that we watch because I'm tired of seeing aggressive fucking, and half the time I get triggered by watching some of the sex stuff that sex scenes I be seeing because I'm like, is this person consenting to be hurt? This like the I hear the pain in the back of their throat, so I'm like, what the
Mm-hmm.
hell is going on? What is
Mm-hmm.
this? It sounds
Mm-hmm.
uncomfortable. It's giving me uncomfortable, and I watch
Mm-hmm.
a good amount, an unhealthy amount of gay porn. So it's like.
Not an unhealthy amount.
You caught that. So I'm like, oh, I need to go to the next creator because, fam, I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah, you're doing too much.
Way too much. I don't like to hear, oh, next.
Mm-mm. Yeah,
No,
right. No.
that's not sexy. I don't like sex that hurts so good. No, I want my
Mm.
sex to be pleasurable. I'm okay with a little bit of pain. I'm okay with
Right.
pain, but I don't
Right.
need to be hurting.
Right, exactly that. Oh,
Mm-mm.
yeah, no thanks. No, thank you.
It's given
But
damaged asshole.
it's giving never again. You don't know what you're doing. Why
Mm,
are we here? How did we get here? Mm-mm.
exactly. Mm-mm. Like I enjoy the scenes of porn where I feel like, I want to fuck this person who's fucking this other person. Like
Mm-hmm.
I want to be that person. Like fuck me this way, or let me fuck you that way. Like
Right.
however we going to put this scenario, I want
Mm-hmm.
to engage with your body because of how you're treating them. But you treat them horribly. I'm like, nope.
Yeah, I don't want that. Nope. Nope.
And I'm the type that I need the build up. Like a friend of mine sent me this video of someone doing some torture play, and I'm
Mm.
like, I need to see the scenario build up. I cannot go halfway in and seeing this person tie the fuck up and
Right.
being. Of course, they're saying that they're being pleased and everything, but I'm like, are they
How
really
do we
being
get here?
pleased?
How do we get here? I need to see the verbal and nonverbal cues when they were speaking before to know if they are just saying this or are you like this is really your shit. Like
Exactly.
don't start the scene. don't start the scene with someone starting to get tied up. How did we get here?
How did we get here? All I'm seeing is smack, 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 smack. And I'm like, hold up, we beating
You
somebody
didn't even start
already?
slow.
We
Yeah.
jumped in?
Yeah, I'm like, you just started at a 7. Like you should at least start at a 2, something.
Look, let me warm up with you. What if
Right.
I
Like
wanted to slap myself a little bit?
exactly. What if I wanted to show what if I needed to show you what medium means to me? You ever go get a massage and you're just like, hey, I want, medium pressure or whatever, and somebody all of a
Mhm.
sudden putting their elbow in your back, their bony ass elbow back ass elbow in your back, and
Mhm.
you just like this, nothing about this is medium.
No
Like, please get up off me. Yeah,
pressure.
don't start with a medium that I think is supposed to be a 5 and you already at 8. That's not how that works.
Exactly.
Mm-mm.
Oh, Lordy. Okay. Now let's go ahead and move into these damn sex questions. You ready?
Let's do it.
So, when did you first realize touching yourself felt good? And do you remember the first time you made yourself come?
If you're talking about age, I do not remember the age. But I do remember I definitely wasn't a teenager yet, so definitely somewhere in the preteen area. So, and I do remember, it was finding someone's dirty magazines. I think it was Hustler magazine, to be honest. Finding a Hustler magazine and looking through it, because I was someone who used to like to read a lot. And
Mm.
so I was like, oh, what's this magazine? And I'm looking through it. I'm like, oh, okay, naked people. And then understand and and of course doing that look around like, is anybody gonna see me? Because I want to keep on reading and and going through it and and feeling like these tingles, these different like, oh, I don't know what that is, but liking the feeling and going back and doing it again. And then understanding, like, oh, hey, when I'm touching this part of me, like I feel that same kind of tingly feeling when I was looking at this magazine and just putting two and two together and just, yeah, I just started masturbating that way.
I think for me, I think I first start touching myself maybe 9 or 10-ish. No, I might have been a little bit older than that. But so I don't know the exact age, but when I start to realize, oh, this is really feeling great. What happens if I keep on going?
Mm-hmm.
So like, I don't like I found pleasure before I can actually physically come.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like be jacking off until my body starts to shake and whatnot. So I understood what an orgasm was before, like
Right.
I did not need to like ejaculate. So for me, like if I do like ejaculate or if I come or anything like that, some people just like, oh, are you done? And I'm like, no, not really, because that's just a body feature. Like, motherfucker, we could keep on going here because I know what my orgasm feels like. And I
Right.
think a lot of that, like from that experience of just jacking off and nothing really coming out, actually made that experience a little bit more fulfilling for me to
Mm,
recognize that, there's different ways or there
exactly.
it doesn't just have to end at skeet skeet.
Right.
So
That's a good point.
yeah, when I learned that, oh, it was a field day. If the legs ain't shaking, there ain't nothing. There ain't nothing right. Nothing right. Oh my God. Like, if I have a full body, I'm
Hmm.
good. I'm good. I need a couple minutes or so to recharge to get back into this
Yeah.
thing. But
Hmm.
I'm a whore right now. I'm okay. Call me something dirty, and then
He said, call me something dirty. We gotta get this back going. I'm not done yet.
I'm not done yet.
I'm not done yet. I know what you saw, but this was not the end, I promise.
This is not it. This re-up
Mhm.
game is strong, okay?
The real game is strong over here. This is
Oh,
what you thought stamina was? I am that. What
I
y'all
am
know about
that.
it?
Oh my God. Like there's this toy I got. It will be talked about on the vibrator of my pie. So y'all, I don't know if it's going to be out before this episode or afterwards, but it's like a partial body. And
Mhm.
sis did what needed to be done multiple times. And I'm like, why does this feel so good?
Mhm.
and I don't
That's
like
how
white
you
women
know.
like that. So I was like, how
That's
did
how you
this
know it's a good
happen?
toy, though.
It's a
That's how
really
you
good
know it's good.
toy. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, girl, okay, Rosie, bitch, how you doing? You, she got inducted, y'all. If that episode is after this, y'all already know that part of the episode, but she definitely got inducted into the whole bag.
That is hilarious. Not the whole bag. We're gonna have to do an episode about what's in your whole bag, because yeah, now I'm curious now.
Oh, girl, yes, yes, we really do. We really do need to talk about it. I'm going to bring that back for November. I'm going to bring that back for November.
I
We
like it.
have to have the whole bag discussion, most definitely with me getting these toys this year, and that's increasing. And then the dude I'm talking to sent me this random toy, and I'm like, oh, well, he sent it to me on Instagram, and I'm like, I am interested in that. It's like,
Nice.
I need to send it to you. I don't know if I did.
Yes, I was gonna, no, you didn't.
Oh
I
my
want to
gosh.
see it.
Yes, so it's one of those toys. It's a vibrator, and
Mm-hmm.
it has a ring or something around the shaft, and that
Mm.
ring goes up and down inside.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah, I need to
Yes,
see it now.
bitch.
I want to see it now. I am, the curiosity has piqued. You see it
Because
on my face? I need to see this.
I was like, what is this, Lord? This looks like so much motherfucking fun. Like,
Yeah,
what you
I need
mean?
this. I need this.
And just sent it to you.
Yeah.
And I already have it on my list of things to buy. Like I was going to buy
Oh.
exactly, bitch. Like I was going to get 3 toys this month. And it was going to be some cheaper toys from Skins because I wanted to try out some of their products because I do like their condoms. I was like, what can the
Mhm.
massagers do? But
Yeah.
I'd rather spend the toy money I was going to spend on them on
On
that
that. Yeah.
because let me figure out what that ring can do.
Right. Listen, I know there's speed to this. There's got to be some. I need to see what other features this damn thing got.
Exactly.
We need to put this. I'm gonna have to talk to my new connect and figure out. Do you have this in stock? Because I might need to add this to the store. Like what? Yeah, we're gonna have to figure this one out.
Exactly. So y'all be on the lookout for that toy review because that will be coming. And
Yep.
I will too.
Yeah. I'm sick of you.
Oh my God. This is why I love this kind of podcast.
Oh
It's
man.
like, what the fuck is an innuendo? Go straight the fuck in. Just go
Right.
to straight the fuck in. Like,
Yeah, innuendos are only fun when you about to go straight in after that. But like, I'm just letting you know it's cut. There it
look, damn.
is.
So one last question, and then I definitely have to close out the episode.
Okay.
So, what's your favorite way to get off when you're alone?
Oh, mm, body massagers. I don't want to say vibrators, but body massager, like the mini body one. That's one of my favorites. Because it really gets the job done. Like, and I can use two hands. I can be, like on my stomach and using the bed or whatever to hold it where I need to hold it or move around.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of times I like to move around.
Mm.
And then also use my hands for something else, whether it's another toy or not. But that body one is the tried and true. Like whether it's being used alone or with something else, that's the one.
See, for me, it's the hand. The hand just does what needs to get done and
Listen,
taken care of.
when you got Pamela and Hannah on hand, I mean, they the ones that know you best.
Mm. I have one coming my way. Vibrating cock ring.
Mm,
And I'm definitely going to see how me, Pamela, and this new toys can, mix and match a little bit and see what
mm-hmm,
the fuck we can do.
mm-hmm.
I've been talking about vibrating cock rings for the longest, and I'm like, might as well. I need them to get a new name. I still hate the word cock, but
Yeah,
it's a thing.
right. Just like I told you when we saw that video, I said, look at all this penis and not enough dick in here. What is this? I don't do cock. Thank you.
I
Um,
don't.
it's just
I'm allergic, but y'all have whatever you
right.
want. It's just not within my
Mm.
diet, so it's okay.
Yeah, I just feel like I feel like it's dick light, and I can't even say that because it's still missing a lot.
So glad.
Take that how you want it. But it's still missing a lot.
Oh God, I think because I'm actually taking a note for it for November. I think we're going to just do a whole bag induction ceremony to
I
see
love it.
a podcast whole bag induction ceremony, like what is the favorites and what everybody needs to have in their whole bag.
I love
And
that.
for those who do not know exactly what a whole bag induction ceremony is, make sure you listen to the vibrator in my pod when those episodes are rolling out. Actually, by this point, they will definitely be rolling out because it starts in April. So,
I love it.
so, oh, sorry, it started in April, but yeah. Ooh, yes. Oh, that's
You
gonna
know,
be
I'm writing a note for
fun.
this down. I'm writing down a note for this. I'm like, I'm gonna have to post this.
Well,
I'm gonna have
oh,
to post this on my on my page and see, hey, what are your top three picks? What's in your bag and what's a staple, what's a necessity, what everybody needs,
mm-hmm. I say
what people come up with.
I feel like everybody, this is going to be we're going to have to hold this conversation because I was about to say what everybody
Mm-hmm.
needs. We go y'all better be here November, okay? If you don't know when that
Mm-hmm.
starts, November 1st. If you didn't figure that out, there you go. But on that note, Nicole,
Yes, sir.
thank you so much for coming on to the podcast. I appreciate you so much.
I thank you for inviting me. I appreciate you so much. I already told you when you said, "Do you want to be on?" Yes, yes, I do. What are we talking about? And that conversation that we had, look, you see how many topics we got out of that shit. Like,
Facts. We
I could
got a
talk to you
lot.
all day. I could
Oh,
talk to you all day,
and
really.
we almost did.
Yeah. I wasn't gonna tell the people that down, but yes, we did.
So, do you have any last words that you would like to share with the audience as it relates to kinks?
Um, I would say as much as difficult as it can be with the society that we live in and the community that we live in, don't be afraid to figure out who you are and what you like sexually. Don't be afraid to go against what everybody thinks is normal because honestly, you really don't know who's doing what out here. Those same people who are out here judging and saying all this wild shit are also the same people who are doing things behind closed doors that they don't want other people to know about. So don't be that person. Figure out who you are. It's your life. You got one life to live. Why not be happy in it in every aspect of the life that you have? Go explore the things that interest you. Go find like-minded people. And if you don't know where you can find like-minded people, hit me up, hit Vernon up, and we'll talk to you about it. We'll find somebody to talk to you about it so that you can get where you need to be. Don't be out here lacking in self-expression and sexual expression and how great your relationship with yourself and other people, including your romantic partners, can be just because you're afraid of what somebody else is about to say. Go find who you are and have pleasure with it.
Amen. 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 On that note, thank you all so much for listening to the Holy podcast, where we step out and speak on sexuality. Just in case no one else told you this today, you are beautiful, you are worthy of happiness and joy, you are enough and then some. You may not live up to the expectations of others, but that is okay. You are only required to walk in your own shoes. May each day you live lead you towards abundance. With that said, love you all and see you next episode. Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Holiloquy podcast, where we step out and speak on sexuality. You can subscribe to the podcast through your favorite podcasting app and find us on the web at www.holiloquy.com. That's www.heauxliloquy.com. Share the podcast with your friends and join the conversation.